Welcome to the Medieval Kings and Queens channel. Here, you'll uncover the most intense, human, and surprising stories of European royalty. Forbidden loves, betrayals, wars, and women who stood up to empires with the power of faith and intelligence. Today, you'll meet Catherine of Aragon, the queen who defied Henry VIII, protected her daughter with everything she had, and, even in exile, was still called queen. Get ready, the story starts now. In the heart of the turbulent 16th century, one woman dared to challenge the most powerful king of her time. Catherine of Aragon, daughter of the legendary Catholic monarchs of Spain, wasn't just the first wife of Henry VIII. She was a brilliant queen, a devoted mother, and a woman who, even in political defeat, never lost her dignity. Catherine was born in 1485, surrounded by military victories and Catholic faith. At just 6 years old, she saw her mother, Isabella of Castile, lead the surrender of Granada, bringing the Reconquista to an end. Raised with a strict and refined education, Catherine became fluent in Latin, theology, and politics, rare qualities, especially for a woman of that time. At 15, she was sent to England to marry Arthur Tudor, but just months later, Arthur died. Catherine was left a young widow, isolated, with an uncertain future. She lived nearly 7 years with limited resources, but never lost her faith. She prayed for hours each day, and it was during that time that she shaped what would become her greatest legacy as a mother. In 1509, Henry VIII ascended the throne and married Catherine. She was crowned queen with honor and the love of the people. Intelligent, charismatic, and deeply religious, she would become a symbol of strength and duty. In 1513, Catherine served as regent of England while Henry was at war in France, and during his absence, she led a victory against the Scots at the Battle of Flodden, a woman in command, a true queen. The greatest hope of Henry and Catherine was to have a male heir. But between 1510 and 1518, Catherine endured 6 traumatic pregnancies. Only one child survived, Mary Tudor, born in 1516. Each loss was devastating, yet Catherine never stopped believing that Mary was her purpose. She raised her to be a future leader, scholarly, Catholic, strong. Catherine wrote letters to her daughter, instilling in her faith and her duty as the rightful princess. Henry, frustrated by the lack of a male heir, began to doubt the legitimacy of his marriage. He fell in love with Anne Boleyn, young, charismatic, Protestant, and saw in her the promise of renewal. Anne didn't want to be a mistress, she wanted to be queen, and Henry was willing to break with the Catholic Church to make it happen. In 1527, Henry began the process of annulling his marriage, but Catherine stood firm. In a public hearing, she declared boldly, "I married the king a virgin, with God's blessing. I am his lawful wife, and Mary is his rightful heir." As Henry pulled away, Catherine continued to write to Mary, urging her to hold on to the Catholic faith and to resist the new regime. In 1533, Henry broke with Rome. He created the Church of England, married Anne Boleyn. Catherine was stripped of her title as queen and exiled to cold, remote castles. She was forced to go by the title Dowager Princess of Wales. Henry forbade any contact between Catherine and Mary. Even so, Catherine sent secret letters and gifts, among them a gold cross necklace that Mary would wear for the rest of her life. Even in isolation, Catherine kept a small court. She prayed, sewed for the poor, and signed her letters as Catherine the Queen, a silent act of resistance. Catherine died on January 7, 1536, at age 50, likely from cancer or heart problems. She died far from her daughter, far from power, but never truly defeated. Her final letter to Henry contained no hatred, just one plea: to protect Mary. And in the end, Catherine won. In 1553, Mary Tudor became Queen of England, Mary I, known as Mary the Catholic, a woman shaped by loss but guided by the faith and strength her mother had passed on to her. As queen, Mary ordered masses in her mother's name, kept her letters, and wore the gold cross as a symbol of faith. Even from the throne, she never forgot who had prepared her to be a queen. Catherine of Aragon was not just a rejected wife. She was a woman who stood up to an empire to protect her daughter and her faith. If this story moved you, like the video, comment "Queen to the End" and follow for more royal stories that shaped the world.